Before we begin today's service, we acknowledge that the Unitarian Church of Montpelier is located on unceded Western Abenaki land. We honor, recognize, and respect these peoples as the native stewards of the lands and water on which we gather. In that same spirit, we will respect, protect, and be good stewards of this land for as long as we walk upon it. Good morning, everyone. I am Jen Roberts, your worship associate this morning. Originally, Denise Bailey was scheduled to be here, and unfortunately she's sick, so we hope you feel better soon, Denise. So I would like to apologize in advance if I do something like introduce the wrong hymn, which I'm going to try really hard not to do. On behalf of the entire worship team, I'm happy to welcome all of you, those with us here in the sanctuary and those watching the live stream. Since 1864, this church has been a sanctuary for those seeking spiritual justice as well as peace and justice in the world. Whether you are a newcomer, a longtime member, or somewhere in between, you are part of our community, and we are so glad you are here. If you are a newcomer, we'd love to offer you a special welcome. We invite you to raise your hand or stand if you're comfortable doing so. Hello, welcome. Nice to have you with us today. You're also invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table in the vestry downstairs so that we can connect with you more fully and offer you even more of a welcome. And now it's your turn. Please take a few minutes to turn to one of your neighbors and share a greeting. Thank you for sharing those warm greetings. You are invited to continue your conversations after the service during coffee hour. Please note, we also have hearing assist devices on the table in the rear of the sanctuary. You can also listen to and watch the service in the fireplace room downstairs should you need to leave the sanctuary for any reason. A member of our lay pastoral care ministry team will be available here in the sanctuary after the service. If you have a personal concern that you would like to share, please feel free to connect with today's lay pastoral caregiver, Betty McKinnell. Betty, oh, there's Betty, thank you. And now, let's take a deep breath, make sure our cell phones are silenced, and enter more deeply into our time of worship with a prelude sung by our own Diane Marie.
Have you ever seen an angel on a December night when the light of hope is all burned out? Have you ever seen an angel in January, May, or June? Did your horizon go tilted forever to stay askew? Oh, angel, hold my hand. Angel, sit with me while I weep and sigh. Oh, walking up the line. Have you ever seen an angel after the house is clean and your spirit's quiet and listening for angels? Ooh, my, what a life. Ooh, my, what a life.
We gather together on this bright winter morning, called into community not by certainty, but by questions without clear answers. We come together to breathe, to sing even if our voices tremble, to remember that whatever might be unraveling around us, love still holds us together. We gather to create a space of refuge and honesty where we do not pretend that things are simple, a place where grief and hope sit side by side. May this time we share steady us through companionship, through tenderness, through our presence offered with love. Let us worship together this morning. And let us join our voices in our opening hymn. It's number 18 in the gray hymnal, What Wondrous Love. Please rise in body or spirit.
Is
Let us now light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, we invite Leslie Parr, one of the awesome volunteers that counts the cash after services. So thank you, Leslie, for doing that. All right, and you can either use the lighter or the match. Look what I've got. Oh, you got your own. She came prepared. I love it. We light this flame, an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. Now, let us join our voices in saying our congregational covenant. We covenant to speak honestly and listen deeply to each other and the voice within, treat each other with compassion, and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow. Encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world, and forgive each other and start again.
In just a minute, I'll share what's happening in our spiritual exploration programming today. But first, there's a very important announcement. March Mystery Magic signups have started. Yes, you heard me right. We're calling it March Mystery Magic this year to emphasize all the incredible magic that happens during this event, when new and multi-generational connections are made within our community. And if you have not heard of it before, March Mystery Magic is our annual whole congregation game where we exchange clues over 3 weeks in March and try to guess who our mystery buddy is. Then on Sunday, March 29th, we'll have our big reveal celebration so you can finally meet your buddy. So come and join in the fun. There's an online registration form found in the e-news, or you can sign up downstairs during coffee hour today using a paper form. And all ages are welcome and encouraged to participate. And if you have any questions, look for the helper with the magic wand. Oh. Nice job. You may have seen it before in our no rehearsal Christmas pageant. It's a big, huge star, so look for that and Liz. Thank you. All right, and today in our spiritual exploration program, our pre-K through grade 4 group will be exploring the topic of faith, and our middle school youth group will be working on an animal welfare service project. When we sing everyone out, children in pre-K through grade 4 will head through this door here. The youth group will head through the back of the sanctuary to the bell tower room over there. And if your child is not registered for spiritual exploration, or this is your first time joining, we are so happy to welcome you and have some new faces here with us today. And adults, please come and fill out the registration form, and then you are welcome to stay with your child or return to service. Children's Chapel will be dismissed around 11:15 in the room between the vestry and the School Street exit. And adults, please be sure to sign out your children. And youth will meet back up with their adults during coffee hour. All right, now let's sing our children out as they go. Thank you.
It is a joy to be part of such an engaged community. And there's so much going on, as I know you know from reading your weekly e-news that you get on Fridays. I just have one announcement to make today. After the service at 11:30, Reverend Joan will be in the fireplace room to talk about this service and the theme of this month, theme of faith. And I now invite Elaine up. She has another announcement.
Good morning. I'm Elaine Ball. My pronouns are she and they, and I'm the Congregational Life Coordinator here at UCM. Apology, I just ran up the stairs. 2 weeks from now, on Sunday, March 1st, I would love it if you could join me in the fireplace room, especially if you're one of our newer friends of the church. This is an informal chat about our introduction to the pathways to membership, and it'll be at 11:30 a.m., shortly after the service ends. Just following this informal chat, I'll be leading a building tour, and all are welcome to that. All are welcome to both. But the building tour will be at noon, and I'm very excited to show you some exciting, interesting things about our building, like our bell tower room and our steeple, some history about our organ. I hope you'll reach out if you have any questions, and whether you're a newcomer, visitor, new or longtime friend of the church, welcome. We're glad you're here.
The act of giving is a spiritual practice as important as any other element in our shared time of worship. Our generosity is a form of love. Our gifts, freely given, help us to practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation. Each month, through the UCM Community Pouch Program, we share part of our collection with an important church fund or a community organization aligned with our values. This month's Community Pouch recipient is the Hames Best Project. Half of our cash offerings will go to the Hames Best Project. The other half will directly support the mission and ministry of this congregation. You can find the offering pouches at the end of the pews on the side aisles. Please pass them toward the center aisle. We are so grateful to each and every one of you, thank you, Sue, for your generosity in its many forms. Your offering will now be gratefully received. And please join the musical offering, where we are delighted to have members of the Montpelier Community Gospel a cappella Choir.
Done, made my vow to the Lord, and I never will turn back. Oh, I will go, I shall go to see what the end will be done. Made my vow to the Lord, and I never will turn back. Oh, I will go, I shall go to see what the end will be. When
to see what the end will be. I moaned and I moaned till I came through, to see what the end will be. I made my vow to the Lord, and I never will turn back. Oh, I will go, I shall go, to see what the end will be. When every star refused to shine, to see what the end will be. I know King Jesus will be mine, to see what the end will be. Done, made my vow to the Lord, and I never will turn back. Oh, I will go, I shall go, to see what the end will be. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord, to see what the end will be. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord, to see what the end will be. What the end will be. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Yes. Done, made my vow. Oh, done, made my vow to the Lord, to see what the end will be. What the end will be. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord, to see what the end will be. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord. Done, made my vow to the Lord, to see what the end will be. What the end will be. To see what the end will be. To see what the end will be.
Thank you to all of our singers for your musical gifts this morning. And your financial gifts, so generously offered, are received with such immense gratitude for the difference that they allow us to make for one another and for our community writ large. Thank you.
In our community of care and belonging, we hold one another with love in times of joy and in times of sorrow. And in that spirit, we share in our ritual of lighting candles of joy and concern twice a month. During this candle lighting time, you might wish to come forward and share a special joy
or a milestone so that we can celebrate with you. Or you might wish to share a personal concern, a loss, or a challenge that calls for our love, our support, and our prayers. In just a moment, I'll invite you to come forward and to share your name and to briefly share what is on your heart or mind before lighting a candle. You can also come forward and light a candle in silence if you prefer. As a reminder, the service is being live streamed, so anything that's shared here in the sanctuary is also being shared with those who are joining us online, and this portion of the service will be removed before we add it to our service archive. And I'll invite us to continue in this time of prayer and meditation, knowing that there is just so much that we are holding within us. The brilliant beauty of a winter day, the crushing grief of so many losses. We stay present to all of that we hold on our hearts with compassion for ourselves and for one another. And I offer you these words of prayer by Audette Fulbright Fulson. The days that come and carry away your spirit, your spark, bow down. Lay your head on the hard earth and let your brokenness join the death that is stirring there. Life rebels against death, takes the very dust of our bones and reweaves it into glory. You were made for life, and life does not intend to let you go. But rest you can. Decay and falling away from ourselves are part of that process. If you need to fall apart, then do, for life will hold you in that. Will teach you how to desiccate and blow away, and then will call you back from the four corners of the earth and will renew you with the water of the tears of others who, like you, weep for all that is lost. She will breathe back into you the breath that washes from the mouths of children laughing, from the lion's roar, from the exhalation of trees. You will be reborn into the arms of beloveds, and together we will sing a new song. And let us share in a time of quiet meditation together. Our reading this morning is the poem Fault Line by Robert Walsh. Did you ever think there might be a fault line passing underneath your living room? A place in which your life is lived in meeting and in separating, wondering and telling, unaware that just beneath you is the unseen seam of great plates that strain through time, and that your life, already spilling over the brim, could be invaded, sent off in a new direction, turned aside by forces you were warned about but not prepared for. Shelves could be spilled out, the level floor set at an angle in some seconds shaking. You would have to take your losses, do whatever must be done next. When the great plates slip and the earth shivers and the flaw is seen to lie in what you trusted most, look not to more solidity, to weighty slabs of concrete poured or strength of cantilevered beam to save the fractured order. Trust more the tensile strands of love that bend and stretch to hold you in the web of life that's often torn, but always healing. There's your strength. The shifting plates, the restive earth, your room, your precious life, they all proceed from love, the ground on which we walk together. In the fall of 2023, I faced a low point. One might even call it a crisis of faith. I sat in a room full of clergy colleagues at a minister's retreat, feeling very burned out. We had lived through 3 years of COVID, the shutdown and the constant adaptation, followed by the flood in the summer of 2023. I was exhausted and feeling unsure of my vocational path. I questioned the impact I was having. I remember staring down at the carpeted floor in this room, tracing the pattern with my eyes, wondering if I had anything left to give. Ministry in that moment didn't feel like the ministry I had signed up for. And I know I wasn't alone in this feeling. People across professions and life paths felt shaken to the core by the pandemic and all the ways it had upturned our lives. As I sat in that room of clergy, feeling unsure and vulnerable, a colleague said something that rang true the instant I heard it. They said that all of us were doing transitional ministry. None of us could expect to be doing normal ministry anymore. All of church life was in transition, whether we served our congregations for 1 year or 20 years, all of us were living in instability and unpredictability. And just having that named brought immense relief. Although that was 3 years ago and a different kind of crisis, many of the same feelings have been coming up for me again, not about my vocation, but about normalcy itself. It feels like each day brings a new upheaval, a new fault line revealed, another piece of the foundation cracked. The speed and the pervasiveness of the unraveling are overwhelming. It feels like we are trying to grieve just one loss before another headline lands, like the ground is shifting faster than our nervous systems can process. Many of us are living in a crisis of faith, not necessarily faith in God, but in what we believed to be stable and trustworthy. At different points, we face these times in our lives when what we had believed comes into question, and we need tools to face these moments of spiritual turmoil. The Christian theologian and contemplative Richard Rohr describes spiritual transformation as movement from order to disorder to reorder, and he calls these the 3 boxes. I always like a nice, pithy name for a tool, the 3 boxes. Order is the box where life just makes sense. It's where we believe things are fundamentally stable. Order is when you assume your job will still exist next year, when you assume your partner will remain faithful, when you assume that for all its flaws, your country is fundamentally steady and progressing. Order is the persistent belief that tomorrow will look roughly like today. Now, Richard Rohr suggests that this space of order is often too small, that it's built on partial truths and false assumptions. But even if it is imperfect, it feels safe. It gives us a sense of normalcy. And then comes disorder. Disorder is when the assumptions crack, when faith is questioned. It's the diagnosis that you didn't expect, the layoff email, the news headline that brings you to your knees in grief and outrage. Disorder is when the beliefs we once relied upon no longer hold. It can happen quietly over time or just all at once. Sometimes this disorder comes through betrayal, infidelity in a marriage, an institution that fails to protect the vulnerable, another public figure found to be complicit with abuse. There is a particular pain when disorder comes through betrayal, when something or someone we trusted proves untrustworthy. There's both the pain of the harm that has been perpetrated and also the pain of not trusting oneself when the truth is revealed. Many of us are feeling this kind of betrayal on a collective level as we witness abuse of power and the stripping away of fundamental rights. For many, it is not simply a crisis of politics. It's a crisis of belief in goodness itself, a betrayal of an assumed social pact to treat each other fairly and to work for the common good. Now, for some of us, that box of order that we might have once made our home was built on the belief of steady progress, fairness embedded in systems and institutions. That was a safe box to live in. But for others, that box never felt safe. Some have long known in their bodies that what was called order was built on racist lies and systems of oppression. And yet, whether you trusted that box or not, many of us, I would dare to say all of us, are living in a period of great disorder, a rapid unraveling of what we once knew. And this isn't theoretical, it's very material and in our bodies. The tightness in our chests when another executive order is announced, the fatigue of trying to keep up with it all, the quiet tears that might come when you realize that someone you love doesn't stand on the same moral ground that you thought was shared and actually isn't. I know that not everyone here experiences this moment in exactly the same way. Some of us might feel anger, some feel fear, some exhaustion, or perhaps all of it, all at once. And beneath all of it, some of us are feeling something deeper, a question of who we are becoming as a people. Now, to remain in this disorder for too long is dangerous. Lingering here, we find ourselves doom scrolling late into the night.
numbing out in all kinds of ways, or even believing that nothing we do matters. The shaking up of what we once relied upon to be true can lead to spiritual hazard. But disorder can also awaken us. It can open us up. It can teach us. It can create the space for something even sturdier to be built. The movement toward reorder is not about going back to the old box. Reorder is not a return to the way things were. Reorder is a deeper wisdom where paradox can live, where peace and turmoil, beauty and brokenness are all present at the same time. Reorder might look like the couple who, after a vow is broken, build a marriage that is more honest than it was before. Or the person who loses a job and in that unraveling discovers a calling they never thought they would have chosen on their own. Reorder is a congregation that can't go back to pre-pandemic normal, but finds new ways of being community that are more inclusive and compassionate. It is faith that no longer depends on everything working out, but trusts in something larger in the midst of uncertainty. For Richard Rohr, reorder is not a place of permanent certainty, but a place of greater spiritual spaciousness, where we no longer need the world to be simple in order to remain faithful. And he says that whenever we are led out of this normalcy into this sacred open space, it will feel like suffering because it's letting go of what we were used to. Part of us has to die, has to be let go if we are to find a deeper faith and wisdom. And this is possible not because we force it or rush into it, but because we learn slowly to take the next step, even when we can't see the whole path. The movement toward reorder, that space where we can hold both the pain and the beauty and start to form new worldviews that are more fitting for our times, can't be controlled. But there are practices that we can engage in to support the rebuilding of our faith and our trust. One can start with first recognizing that disorder is happening. I invite you this coming week, when you notice that tightening in your chest or that welling up of tears, you might gently say to yourself, "This is what disorder feels like." And then you might ask, what assumption is dissolving? Another practice is to accept that some former assumptions never fully served us, and we can give our loving attention to what is happening now, to the dissolution and the uncertainty. One story that helps to illustrate this comes from Kira Jewel Lingo, who's a former Zen Buddhist nun who continues to teach today. At the age of 23, she had decided to leave all the familiarity of graduate school in the United States and seek guidance of spiritual teachers. And she traveled to Plum Village in rural France. She met the Vietnamese teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, whose students all called him Thai. The simplicity and the grace of Thai's teaching and his practice and that rigorous life of monastic community filled a place of longing within her, and she stayed in the village and was ordained as a Buddhist nun 2 years later. But after 15 years of living a monastic life all across the globe, doubt about her life path began to appear, and thoughts of leaving became more and more present. This was a period of questioning the foundation upon which she had built most of her adult life, and she wondered if she wasn't living out her monastic vows, who was she? Imagine giving up the only identity you've known for 15 years and telling your closest spiritual companions that you're leaving. She writes about this and her process of going from disorder to reorder in this way. She says, "When I was in the process of deciding to leave monastic life, I was terrified. I had no idea what would come next. I was giving up security, love, and belonging for a totally unknown future with absolutely no guarantees. Yet I knew I had to take the leap and leave the safety of my life to see what would await me. As soon as I made that first, small, tentative step into the unknown, it was as if the earth rose up to meet my foot and supported me. Each step gave me more faith and trust that I could do this. Life was calling to me to keep going, and it continued to support me at every turn, even if I couldn't have seen quite how just 1 or 2 steps back. I just kept going, and sure enough, there was a way for me." In order to move from disorder to reorder, a courageous leap of faith is needed. This willingness to face the unknown. And this isn't something we do all by ourselves. We move toward reorder together. It is in community that we move out of our boxes by creating a vision of what's possible on the other side of the shattering. Together, we keep going, looking for those ways in which the earth and the community might rise up to meet us and support us. The reordering work that we do together comes in the form of imagining and visioning what is on the other side of all of this pain and suffering. It comes in the form of singing together, even when our voices shake, of offering witness and companionship to one another as we navigate all of this messiness, as we feel the dissolution of our former beliefs and assumptions. Reordering comes in offering one another spaces of refuge and sanctuary to be with our grief and also to notice what is emerging. The poet Robert Walsh writes, "Trust more the tensile strands of love that bend and stretch to hold you in the web of life that's often torn but always healing. There's your strength. The shifting plates, the restive earth, your room, your precious life, they all proceed from love, the ground on which we walk together." I think back to that room in 2023, exhausted, unsure, wondering whether the ministry I had signed up for even existed anymore. I remember the relief when someone named it transitional ministry. Not failure, transition. I didn't leave that room with answers. The exhaustion was still very present in my bones, but something inside me had shifted. Naming disorder didn't solve it, but it kept me from mistaking it for the end. And here we are again. The ground feels unsteady. The losses come quickly. The temptation toward despair is real. But perhaps this too is transitional ground. Perhaps we are being invited not back to a smaller box, but forward into a deeper faith, one that holds grief without surrendering to cynicism, one that trusts that even when systems crumble, love remains. The poet tells us to trust the tensile strands of love. A single strand can break, but woven together, they can hold astonishing weight. And maybe that is what we are called to be for one another now. Not certainty, not easy optimism, but tensile strands, holding, bending, stretching, refusing to let one another fall. And as we take whatever small steps we can into this uncertain future, may we discover, as so many before us have, that the earth still rises to meet our feet, that love is still the ground on which we move, and that even in disorder, we are being led towards something larger than what we can yet see. So may it be. I invite you to please rise in body or spirit. Join in singing our closing hymn, number 1015 in the teal hymnal, I Know I Can. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and 4.
As we draw our service to a close, we extinguish the chalice and carry within each of us its healing flame, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and the week ahead.
And let us join together in saying our mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home. And may you go from here knowing that you are held in a web of love that may at times be torn, but is always healing. May you go up building a faith not of certainty, but of committed integrity. May you go in the way of peace and return with ever-renewing love. And we conclude our service with the postlude.